podcast, where I'm your host, DeVonda Summers, aka Little Cuddy, and we also have the other host, Greg Peterson, aka The D.
Hey.
And today, man, before we even introduce who we have on the show, it's just glad to be back on the set.
Sir.
We took a little break, a hiatus, to get some things together, to work on some things, and it took us a minute to get back. But hey, shout out to Snake Eyes music group and 803 Fresh with his boots on the ground, man.
Sir.
We had a phenomenal event the other day that prompted us to just jump back in.
We weren't
quiet.
We had to take advantage of that.
We had to. You couldn't
what they
miss.
doing down there was epic. Yo.
If Beyonce reaching out to him, we had to jump in there. And then Anthony Hamilton and Dunk Master and all the celebrity, King George, just flooded the Sand Hill area. Man, the whole group. It was
DJ Pay Me, DJ Dirty, DJ Tucker,
all of them, man.
Tay Cheese, and Jasmine Brown.
We coming to a setup near you, so we can get all those people and sit down and talk to them. Sure. But it was fitting because we're shooting this episode on April 30th, the last day of the month of April, and we have none other than the executive producer. My wife, my confidant, my best friend,
CEO.
The CEO. The real MVP.
The real MVP.
Miss DeVonda Jeanette Summers. Or is it Mrs. DeVonda Jeanette Holloway Summers? It depends on what kind of trouble I am, whether or not she hyphenated.
Mostly Holloway.
But we wanted to not miss the opportunity to discuss something that's near and dear to the community, whether we realize it or not. But April is Autism Awareness Month. And my wife, Miss DeVonda, and we're going to give her an opportunity to speak, but she has always had a passion for kids, right? Always been that individual. We go in stores and you turn around and next thing you know, there's a child in her hand. We don't know who the child belonged to, but it's just a child in her hand. And so, but over the years, she grew this niche and this passion for picking up on kids who needed some little more attention. They had something different about them. They weren't strange. They weren't unlovable. They just were a little bit different. And so I watched her grow into this compassionate mother for our very own kids, but also an advocate for others. And so without further ado, Mrs. DeVonda Summers, CEO of Hands of Hope Behavioral Consulting, and many more other hats. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you stand for in your company, and what Autism Awareness Month is all about. And we're going to chime in. We're going to flow with you tonight. So just relax, breathe. Hey, you on center
good,
stage.
Man. She good. I don't know how to talk with her. I took her outside.
Okay.
I don't know how to talk. She good, man.
No, y'all was out there. She was, 803 Fresh. She was out there popping fans.
Yeah, she out there looking
trying
for
to buy
Fresh.
fans, man. She trying to buy
Fresh.
fans.
We need to get some more fans in here.
But tell us a little bit about, let's start off with Autism Awareness Month, what it means and what your role is and what it is you do.
All right. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey.
So this is the month of April. This is Autism Awareness Month. And what it means to me is who I am. And what I will say is that it's needed in our community. It's not talked about a lot. And I'm here to be the hands and feet of our community to kind of help our families get the support that they need for our babies. And so that's what it means to me. A little bit of background about me and how I came up with Hands of Hope Consulting. It was developed during COVID. When, of course, the world was crazy, and God just laid it upon my heart to kind of go deeper into, not only was I in school at the time trying to get another master's at Arizona State for applied behavior analysis, and this is to be a therapist to work with children with autism. So I started from the bottom because I believe in anything that you do, you got to start from the bottom. I don't have no problem with starting from the bottom, then going to the top. And so my company was birthed during COVID, and I just came up with Hands of Hope Behavioral Consulting because, again, I want to be the hands and just try to bring our community together.
That bridge.
That bridge, that's right. And I based it, my company is different from most companies, ABA companies, is because I am Christian based. So my scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. And that's for my babies. I believe that they was birthed in God's, before they even came upon this earth, they were already formed in the womb and we knew who they were. And so when we talk about autism, they're not any different from anybody else. Those are the next geniuses, the next Elon Musk, Bill Gates. You will see them in spotlights. For an example, on Netflix, y'all check it out, Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Y'all got to watch that show. And series, now it's series 3.
We watch it all the time.
We
I
have
walk
to
in the
watch.
house and
So they got a new series out
Yes,
oh,
it's
you even
series
watching
3.
Love on the Spectrum?
Well,
Yes.
she actually had me watching. Was that the Netflix special I watched?
Yes.
No.
that's-
That was a different one. That was
Okay.
not as
What
they
was
uh,
that's what it was right there.
as they see us. Or,
As they see us or
'cause
something
Oh.
like that. Right
You
there,
remember the lady that was the therapist that stayed in the house.
Okay,
with
Yeah,
yes,
they was in the
that
house.
was a different
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah, but
So
I need
they
to get on this
have
other
one.
one then.
It's called Love on the Spectrum. Y'all
it's
go
funny.
check it out.
I'm
It's
so-
in season 3 now.
So can I say something? I
Yes.
watch it with DeVonda all the time. So when you hear me say that it's funny, it's not that I'm laughing at the
The people and what they got.
abnormality
Yeah,
that you might
exactly.
pick up on.
Exactly.
I'm laughing at how genuine, but also very openly the conversations are, because that's one of the traits. Correct me if I'm wrong, expert here. One of the things about individuals who are diagnosed with autism is sometimes it's not a lack of a filter, but they're not going to hold their feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
And so they might say something to you that is truthful, and but it might hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
But it's going to be their truth. And so in watching this episode, sometimes like they go on these dates, and it's eye opening to watch two individuals, because on these dates, both individuals have autism.
Okay.
So it's a male and a female, and I don't think they had any same, not to offend anyone, but I don't think they had any same sex dating opportunities.
On this last one.
Oh, they did.
On
Okay.
season 3. It's
Okay,
real
so,
hot, y'all. It's hot and juicy.
Not hot and juicy.
Oh,
But no,
yeah.
but the conversations that they have, like,
yeah.
and I remember watching one episode, and they just left the date, and the guy was like, "Well, if you don't mind me just telling you, like, I'd rather just be friends. Like, I'm really not interested in you." And the girl was like, "Oh, okay." And so her feelings were not necessarily hurt, but you could tell she was a little bothered by it. But she was like, "Hey, I just wish him the best, and no hard feelings." And they went on, and some of them are really, 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 truly looking for that love, and I can only imagine once they find it how it will look, because they're very high functioning, as you'll get into some of the lingo, so on. But yeah, not to interrupt. Again, when I first watched, I was like, "Babe, what are we watching? Like, what are we watching?" And the next thing you know, 20 minutes later, I'm like, "Okay, next episode, next episode." So I get intrigued by it. But go ahead.
Yeah, so autism, I just want to kind of like discuss what it is, and excuse me for having my notes, but I want to be accurate when it comes to this because it is my passion. Yeah. So what is autism? It is a spectrum disorder. That's why they call it autism spectrum, meaning it has different levels to it. And it's a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how a person thinks, communicates, interacts with others, and experiences the world. So Kanice is right. Some of the autistic people are very blunt. That's what it is. They're very blunt. They have no filter. They're going to tell you just what it is. It's going to hurt your feelings, but they got to get it out. And we have some, it's different levels. So it's a level 1, meaning they're very severe. And all the levels is they need help. Just like everybody else. Somebody with blood pressure, they need help. They may have to take a blood pressure pill every day. But with autism, they have a level 2, which is moderately. And then also they have a level 3. And so the different levels it talks about the severity. I'm sorry, a level 3 is the most severe. So those are mostly the children that are the person that is nonverbal. They may need a AAC device. And so if your child is not speaking and they're 2 and they're 3 and they don't have more than 50 words, I need you guys to get our babies help and stop being in denial or like, oh, they're going to grow out of that. Come on and get them help. Early intervention is the key. And so hopefully tonight we can kind of discuss that even further.
So my question to you would be, with you saying everything you just said or whatever, the 3 different levels or whatever, is there a cure for autism?
Autism is not a cure.
So
it's
not a cure.
lifelong. It's a lifelong condition, just like anybody that had sickle cell.
Yeah.
Like you can't get rid of it, but you can deal with it, learn to cope with it.
Yeah, and that's what that was going to be my next question. So with you saying that there's not a cure for autism, so you can make it pretty much a manageable, like you said about the blood pressure, and you can take pills and stuff and make it manageable. You can make it a whole lot easier than what it is. But like you said, like you mentioned earlier about the fact that you be in denial.
Yeah.
And you don't want to think that it's something wrong. They're gonna grow out of it and all that stuff, whatever. But if you start getting your kid help at an early age, it's better. But it's never too late to get them help.
Yeah, it's never.
And just hearing you all talk about it, what popped in my head really quick was we were watching TV the other day, and the breast cancer commercial came on, and it was like early detection is the best treatment for cancer.
Yeah.
And so I imagine that early detection is the best treatment for autism because it's not going to go away, but you learn to. I don't want to use the word cope. I think I like the word Greg used even better was it's more manageable.
Yeah.
Because individuals can still function. You'd be surprised at some of the people that we have met or that you will meet that they're autistic. But in being autistic, they're able to function, they're able to hold down jobs, they're able to have families. It's just, again, like you said, some of those geniuses, I don't want to push you too far down the road, but one of your clients I was privileged to meet at some point, I want to be able to share, we won't use a name. I would just say that it amused me that no one ever taught this young man how to read. No one ever taught this young man how to read. He taught him, he knows how to read. Yeah. And so, but go ahead.
But they actually are just doing some research and looking up autism, because I know we was gonna do this episode or whatever. Man, they actually are very smart. You just have to allow them to be smart.
Yes.
And don't hold them back and make them be, for lack of a better word, just handicap them.
Yeah.
And all that or whatever. But go ahead, Ms. Fonda.
And that is so true. A lot of our children that's autistic, they are very smart. I mean, their IQ is out of this world. Yeah. And like you said, we have to find the niche. We got to find what is it that interests them.
Exactly.
And then once you find that, I'm gonna back real quick. So if you are here in the state of South Carolina, a part of what I do, I work at Fort Jackson. Shout out to CYS. Hey y'all. Hey. And what I do there, I'm a special needs program manager. So a part of my job is providing resources to families. Mm-hmm. I work with them. I help them get a diagnosis. I help them help them when some of our families are in denial. They don't have family. They don't know the steps to do, what to go, where to do. And so a part of my job is to assist them, and I walk them through the process. So that's a part of Hands of Hope as well, is to be able to provide resources for you. But here in the state of South Carolina, if your child is birthed to 3 years of age and you notice that your child has some type of developmental delay, whether it be speech, it could be occupational therapy, they may be struggling with their fine motor skills. It could be physical therapy. They may be not crawling or walking at a certain age. Or like I said, it could be speech, physical therapy. The only way you can get ABA therapy is you have to have a diagnosis of autism.
Okay. So where would you get this at?
So you're going to get BabyNet is here in South Carolina. It is a free resource for all of our families. It doesn't go by your income, but if your child have some type of delay, you can get that services. The teacher can do it. The family can do it. I can refer. Anybody can refer to BabyNet. The thing is, the family has to be open because it's a questionnaire. Yeah. And if you don't meet the right criteria, they're going to say you don't qualify. And so with the early intervention, they will come out on a weekly basis and service that child. It can be in your home or at the child care facility or wherever that child is at. Once a child turns 3, then you have to get resources from the school district. And let me just tell you about the school district. The school district is good. School is good. We know that. But when we're talking about helping and early intervention services, we need more than the school. The school cannot do it all. We have, it's a shortage in teachers. So you already know it could be a substitute teacher in there, right? And they are just not qualified to provide the services that our children need. And it is a lack. It is a shortage in therapy. Some of our families are on the wait list for 18 months to 3 years. Wow. And that's for ABA therapy. The testing is an issue. And a lot of the ABA agencies do not accept Medicaid. So what's different about Hands of Hope, that's what I want to service. I want to service the Medicaid families because here in Batesburg, I did have a client. We call them clients. They're my babies though. Yeah. But they was on the wait list for 18 months. So here in this area, in Batesburg area, Saluda, Ridge Spring, Johnston, even Orangeburg, they don't have therapists. And let me just pause for a second. They don't have therapists that look like me.
Okay, then.
So that's a problem.
Yeah.
I need us to get on board, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We got to help our babies because how can you relate to my baby? You don't even understand my culture.
Exactly.
You don't know what my baby needs. You know some things, but I can be able to reach them.
Exactly.
So if you are interested in becoming what we call a RBT or a BCBA or a behavior technician, y'all go to my website and I have a consultant thing and I can help you guys get started.
So you got me signed up.
I was going to say, because I want to stop right there. I want to put a
pause.
pause.
But I got a question, though.
No, hold on. Before you go there, though. Before you go there. So Greg worked down at, Deke worked down at Michelin making tires for about 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked to him about, I talked to him, begged him, hey, man, let's start this podcast. Man, I can't get on that. And he finally gave in and was like, hey, okay, I could. DeVonda asked him one time, hey, you want to become an RBT? The man ain't picked up a computer since he left the ride. He ain't picked up a computer since he left the ride back in 85, man. The next thing I know, he come to the house with a certificate in his hand. Yeah. So don't let Greg fool you. He's multifaceted. You're RBT, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm RBT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, thanks to Miss Vonda.
Okay.
I'm RBT.
Hey, but a lot of people don't know that.
But my question to Mr. Vonda. So I heard you say you work at Fort Jackson, and you do what at Fort Jackson?
So I'm a special needs program manager there.
Okay, so with you being a special needs program manager at Fort Jackson, is this for kids only, like military kids, or?
So our population is majority for children that are in the military. Yeah. But it could be if you're a DOD civilian or you're a federal employee and you work at Fort Jackson and your child attends child care at one of our facilities, then I'm probably in contact with you.
Okay, then. I just wanted to make sure.
But to add on to that, the resources that she provides, a lot of the resources are open to everyone.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just that her job specifically entails her getting those resources out to the individual serviced at Fort Jackson. But that's where Hands of Hope comes in. Where,
See, that's why I was going to get to my next question about the Hands of Hope. So, pretty much, you basically working with more kids at Fort Jackson, and you may filter in some other kids coming out, whatever. But the Hands of Hope is going to be basically around the Batesburg Leesburg area, around Lexington County area, and all that. And they getting way ahead of myself, but you're gonna say it 2 or 3 times. So if anyone had a kid, just say we at the store, and I see this kid that's autistic or whatever. Of course, I know how to get in touch with you or whatever. So what would be that step that I need to take to say, okay, Mr. Vonda, hey, I got this kid, I know this kid, and I need you to, we need to help him. We need to help him.
So I do have an email, and I also have a phone attached to my website.
Yeah.
I have a booking link where you can go on and like book a consultation,
Yeah.
because again, to get tested, you have to have a diagnosis,
Yeah.
right? And so a lot of things that we see, and hopefully we'll go back to the characteristics of what we see, because I know, babe, you at the barbershop, you see all kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, hey, child has concerns with, they don't like loud noises, or, you know, they can't be around crowds, they get overstimulated. It's so many different things.
Yes.
Some children, they struggle with sleeping. They may be a picky eater. They may not respond to their name, they eye contact. So it's different things like that. We have to go through your primary care doctor. So you want to request a referral. And then from there, you can get tested as early as the age of 2. They're not going to test you at 18 months. But as parents and as caregivers or community, you guys see the signs, but we ignore them.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
they're gonna grow out of that, or they just bad.
Yeah. That's key.
Children that is autistic, they have no fear, so they will jump off of things. Like you said, my client that I had, his parents literally have to lock him in his room at night, because guess where he be at night when they sleep? Out in the neighborhood, in the backyard on somebody else's swing.
So how old is he?
At that time, he was 5.
Okay then.
Yeah, but he got tested around 3.
Okay.
I know some children that get tested around 2. And like I said, I have worked with some severe children. A lot of the children that I work with at Fort Jackson do not have a diagnosis. And that's what prompted me to figure out, wait a minute, who is these people coming in here working with my babies? Because at the time I was over a child care facility at, it was Scale CDC, but now they renamed it to Pickens. And we had 324 children in our facility. I had over 100 staff, 13 classrooms. And a lot of the behavior problems that we was going on in the classroom was for children that didn't have a diagnosis. So they didn't have an attention span. They was tearing up the classroom. It was like a zoo. And I spent most of my time with
And
my babies.
no pun intended when we say it was zoo. It was just chaotic.
It was
chaotic. Because she would come home and she would be like, babe, my day today. You know,
Oh, my
by the time she
goodness.
put that fire out, she was putting out another fire. And I would be like, how do you wind down? And her winding down was her sitting in front of the computer researching this stuff. Her winding down was sitting in front of the computer writing a paper on applied behavior analysis. And so that's what the end result is Hands of Hope, behavioral consulting. And so I've watched you grow into this machine, so to speak, when it comes to this. Because we'll be places and we could be at Chili's and a kid walk by and she'll be like, babe, you saw that? Nah, babe. He or she was stimming. Okay, explain to me what stimming is. They were making a certain noise, or they were making a certain gesture, and so now I walk into places and I'm like, that child's stimming. I don't know if I need to go get him one of DeVonda's cars or something like that. So it's contagious, the compassion and the passion that you do have for it. And so, so there's courses or causes. Do they have any specific causes of autism, or have they linked any causes?
So the research out now is not a link. So it's not a bad parenting. It's not because they got shots. It's not hereditary. It's not right now. It's not a link to
pinpoint.
it. It's not a pinpoint. Some people say, oh, it's red dye. Is this? Is that? But it's not a concrete evidence. And the thing about applied behavior analysis, it is research based, so it's database driven, and it's not something. And one thing about the therapist too, a BCBA, a licensed therapist, they have to go through over 2,000 hours of working with a child with autism. So these therapists know what they're doing. It's just not, oh, I just want to be a therapist today. Even the RBT trainer, Greg, you can talk on this. It's 40 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I think it's more than 40 hours.
I think it's more than 40 hours because you're going to be on the laptop doing stuff day and night or whatever. And I was trying to get it in because I'm thinking, hey, we about to start because I really didn't have anything to do. And I'm thinking we about to start like instantly or whatever. So hey, I'm just a night and day. Hey, you got to take these tests. Hey, you got to pass these tests. Hey, you got to answer these questions. Hey, and do all this stuff, whatever. So it really got me back into the school mindset, and they had me doing like school stuff, taking tests and stuff. And hey, when I was watching the little Netflix special, hey, it just got like you said, it got interesting because I watched one episode, and the next thing I know is 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching the episode, and then I'm going back going over these seminars, watching these seminars and all this stuff, and then I'm taking a test, and I'm be like, hey, well, this is the last test for the night. Then it's 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm gonna take one more test, man. See what this man talking about. Whatever. So it's very interesting, man. Whatever. But hey, you mentioned something just a minute ago about the fact that it's not hereditary. They haven't pinpoint anything about how it comes about or whatever. And my question was going to be to you was, okay, so could you actually be, or are you born with this, or could you just grow into this? Something could like happen to you to make you just go into this.
What I have seen, because again, it's no
Just your
research
personal
out
opinion,
there.
yeah.
What I have seen is that the children are born with it.
Okay.
Like it's early signs.
Yeah.
Even as an infant,
Yeah.
your child may be staring off at different things, and it's like as they get older, you notice that they're developing more, like more different triggers, or that you see that's like not normal or not typical, basically.
Yeah.
So some of the common things is like I said, the social communication. Mm-hmm. So one of the red flags is like if your child is not talking, if they're not babbling, or they're struggling with communicating their needs. How do they do in a crowd? How do they do at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Do they have meltdowns? How long do it take them to have tantrums? Mm-hmm. How long do it take them to recover? When you call their name, do they respond? Mm-hmm. Are they walking on their tippy toes? Is there a picky eater where they only have to eat this certain thing every day? Mm-hmm. How is their sleeping pattern? So it's different things like that. What are they interested in? Because some of our children get fascinated about different things. Oh, yeah. Are they holding things in their hand? They may have 2 things that they have to hold in their hand. Are they making like ticking sounds or like different sounds, as Kanice would say, stemming, and that is a form of stemming, and stemming is not a bad thing, but sometimes stemming is something that they're using as a common technique. Yeah. Do they cover their ears when they're at church or when they're out? Yeah. It's all different type of signs that you can see. Mm-hmm. And a old saying was people that have Asperger's. That is a form of autism. Yeah. They just switched the name. Asperger's is like, that's what people had back in the day. Okay. Before the word autism came up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So like, they got Asperger's. It's just the way they.
So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it could be very much like before they came up with this common term of PTSD, they used to say Vietnam veterans were shell shocked. Yeah. Okay. So they were shell shocked, and then all of a sudden, we gave it a medical diagnosis or post-traumatic stress disorder, but all before it was shell shock. Yeah. So Asperger's it's a form of a neurological condition on the spectrum. Yeah. All right. So and what you're saying, given those definitions of just catching it early and doing all that, with DJ, a lot of people they really don't know. My son DJ, my oldest son, they don't know. And they probably really don't know now because he Big Daddy Juicy. I was just showing DeVonda about I was just showing DeVonda. That's my baby. He out there 803 fresh boots on the ground dancing. He got the dance down and all that stuff. But a lot of people don't know that DJ's hearing impaired. He has a cochlear implant, and when he was coming up like 1 and 2 or whatever, we would be calling his name and he would never look. We didn't know that he can hear. We was like, man, DJ just bad as hell, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever. And then we kind of figured it out, by if he's over there doing something he ain't got no business, we might yell at him, man, put that down, stop, whatever. And he wouldn't do it. So we would stomp on the floor.
and he would feel that vibration. So then he'll look or whatever. So we ended up going, getting them some help, going to Columbia, USC, getting them like a speech therapy, because his speech was kind of off, but we was thinking by his granddaddy. Everybody that knows his granddaddy, Robert told him, man, whatever. He didn't talk straight when he was 60, 70 years old or whatever. So we was thinking, he's just gonna be like his granddaddy, man. He good or whatever, like that. But we ended up getting him some help, getting him diagnosed, and they got him the hearing aids. Then we got him the cochlear implant, and I would tell people when they see the little thing, with little kids, they gonna notice stuff or whatever. And they say, hey, well, what's that? Whatever. I say, hey, that's what he hear with or whatever. Yeah. What you mean? Hey, he don't hear with his ears? Yeah, it's connected to his ears, but that's what he hear with or whatever. So once we got all that done or whatever, I would tell folks, he would be out there playing baseball, and no one would know that he was hearing impaired. He had his cochlear implant because he was just pretty much standing out at baseball. And when we talk about these autistic kids being so smart and being intelligent and all that or whatever, and I would tell everybody, hey man, I put DJ up against any kid that can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Still
or
to
whatever.
this day.
Yeah. He even worse now. Or whatever. But go ahead, yeah.
But before we say that, that's why the importance of early intervention.
Yes, because I think he was like
matters.
we got him diagnosed with being hearing impaired. I want to say he was about maybe 2, 3, I think, but it's been so many years ago. But then I don't know for sure, whatever.
Now the speech therapy comes in.
Yeah,
now the occupational
we used to
therapy
go
comes
over
in.
there,
all the different things.
in Columbia a couple times a week, getting speech therapy, getting this hearing aids checked, and then like back then, this is in what 93, so mid to late 90s or whatever. It was programs out there that was, helping him do everything he need to do. Because I remember Lexington District 2 maybe, or Richland Lexington District 2, they used to come and pick him up in the mornings. The bus would come and get him and take him to school and, over by Lexington Hospital or whatever. So it's help out there. We just gotta
resources.
Just use the resources we got to get them help. And like you mentioned earlier about stop being in denial or whatever, because that's just gonna hurt us. It's gonna hold them back.
That is a very hard thing to do, because as a parent, we all want our child to be normal or whatever.
Exactly.
But I can say for my kids, I would speak
Let
me speak for CJ. They ain't normal.
They ain't normal.
I'm not even normal. Listen.
Nah.
I'm not even normal.
But see, the thing is though, with them, not to cut you off or whatever, with them, they got this support system.
Yeah.
They got the support system where, pretty much, they normal. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the support system that's supporting them, getting them through everything they need to get through. And every kid have problems, issues, and all this stuff right here, whatever. But they got a great support system, to get them where they need to be, how they need to be, doing what they need to do. And they just think about the resources and all that or whatever. Because you look at Ayana, man, one of the smartest kids I know, man. One of the smartest kids I know. But go ahead.
And that's the thing, like being in denial. Like I said, I can remember when CJ was a baby, maybe because we had him in Germany, I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but CJ, I believe he didn't sleep until he was like 5 straight through the night. That boy was up. And even now he a night rider. Yeah. He was a picky eater. He did not eat meat for literally until he turned 4 or 5 years old. Till he was around my mom, and she was like, "Vonda, you ain't gonna believe it. CJ ate some meat." I said, "Ain't no way." Yeah. Because it's not that we was practicing vegetarian. He just wouldn't eat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He didn't like the texture.
He was a texture person, but I'm a texture person. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think as a community here, what I see, a lot of our families are lacking, and it's because we're young parents, right? Mm-hmm. And like you said, Greg, y'all had to sacrifice and get my baby to where he needs to be. Yeah. And so a lot of my conversations that I had with some of my parents at Fort Jackson, I just just basically let them know, like, hey, I know you a soldier. I know you single and you out here by yourself, but I need you to help my baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't help them, I can go with you to the appointment. I can go with you to the school, but I'm not their guardian.
Yeah,
So it's only
exactly.
so much I can do. And at the school, y'all, it's only so much that those teachers can do.
Exactly.
And I'm sure everybody been watching the news lately. You have a lot of teachers hitting the children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They are not skilled to work with kids with special needs.
Exactly.
A lot of people are not, and
have
it's
the
not.
patience, 'cause it
It's
takes
not
a
their
gift.
passion.
Oh, yeah.
It is a
it
gift
takes a
to
gift.
work with kids with special needs. And if that's not your gift,
Exactly.
please, this is not for the faint.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
what it is, even about all therapy. But the thing is, with our families, if we can set our pride aside and say, look, my baby need help.
Oh, yeah.
And would you rather for them to help them while they're 2 years old, 3, they getting the resources, and then to where you get in kindergarten and first grade and you trying to figure out, okay, they about to put me out. They about to put my child out, and now you want to call for help. But all the early intervention services have ended.
Yeah.
Once a child turns 3, the early is a wrap. From there, you're going to be referred to the school district. And like you said, Greg, they have what they call part day pre-K. And so they'll do what they call an individual education plan, which is an IEP that they'll put the child on. But most insurance, when it comes to TRICARE, because again, I deal with, military family, TRICARE would not accept a diagnosis from a school. And let me just tell you about the school. The school is not finna give you no diagnosis. Too funny. If they give you a diagnosis, it'll be speech, a developmental delay, but you're not gonna get an autism diagnosis, a ADD or ODD, or an ADHD diagnosis. Too funny from the school unless it's severe.
Yeah.
So you want to go through your child primary care
And let's
doctor.
face it, they really don't have the resources. Those school
Exactly.
districts have psychiatrists and psychologists and those individuals who are credentialed to give those diagnoses, but they're servicing a population that's so large that one-on-one care and time, unless you said like it's got to be a severe situation to where probably life-threatening or hurt, harm, and danger to the safety of the kids, then they're going to just, I won't say push them through, and it's not intentional. It's just a work overload. So it's best to get that diagnosis from the proper authorities.
Yeah, but with that being said, like with the school system, you think about they probably, and I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing, thinking out loud or whatever. Hey, they probably getting money for these kids to be in their special needs. And I don't know, they may not, whatever.
And everything is money driven.
Yeah, exactly. And then if if I diagnose, just say 5 of these kids with autism, then that's gonna take them out of this bracket over here and put them in this bracket over here. So the money gonna be shifted around or whatever. And it may be that, may not be that, man. I don't know or whatever, but it could be a possibility or whatever.
But somewhere we can almost bet and guarantee there's some money, because how many psychiatrists or individuals are credentialed in each school district? Yeah. Being in this community, and I don't want to say a specific school, but in my years of growing up in this community, I'm not for sure who that individual would have been, because it's not a guidance counselor that does that. You have to bring in these other resources, as you said, to help get these individuals diagnosed. And it's going to be the early intervention stage, so the earlier. Because if you're in the 7th and 8th grade and this is just not coming on, that's probably not autism. It's going to be detected earlier from the research you and I have talked about and discussed. So.
And then with this, like you mentioned about the school system, and I just keep referring back to DJ because he was in the school system, and the plan for him, and we got him the proper hearing and stuff, the speech and stuff that we needed to get him, but with this school system, they pretty much wanted him to go to school till he was 21. That's what they was telling us. And like you say, with the school system, a lot of people don't know these, what do they call the meetings they have? No, it's not IP. It's
PTO.
No, it's not
IEP
PTO.
meeting.
IEP meetings. They had IEP meetings. Yeah, they had IEP meetings, and you have the little report and stuff, whatever. And I've been saying it for years. A lot of the parents, they go to the IEP meeting and they think they supposed to sit there and listen. And you in a
gotta
certain
interject.
respect, yeah, you're supposed to sit there and listen. But the thing is, what I learned, and DJ was in the 8th grade, I think, 7th or 8th grade. I learned going to these IEP meetings that, hey, nah, y'all pretty much got to do whatever I say do.
Yeah, you're the child's
Yeah,
advocate.
exactly. Y'all
Yes.
gotta. If I say, hey, because I used to tell them all the time or whatever, you know, they was like, hey, what DJ gonna do this, and this. Nah, man, hey, DJ need to go to a regular class. Hey, DJ good. Hey, he can learn. Because I used to tell him all the time, hey, man, hey, if DJ can hit this baseball and throw this baseball and do all this stuff right here, hey, he can learn
can be
these
in that
books and stuff,
classroom.
man, and do
And
all
so
this
they were
stuff.
trying to
whatever.
put him in like a
Yeah,
resource class.
Exactly,
in
a resource class. And I was like, hey,
developmental
nah, man. And see, I didn't know that I had that authority to make them put DJ in a regular class. So hey, he got in a regular class, and hey, of course, hey, he was struggling because it was new to him. But I was like, hey, man, you just gotta start from scratch or whatever. And then he ended up moving to Lexington when he was in the 9th, 10th grade, and ended up he was like a year or so behind. So he went to Lexington, should have been in the 11th grade, I think, but I think they put him in like the 9th grade, and then he had to pretty much get it because he had to go to school pretty much year round. Had to give up some sports because he was doing summer school, just catching up so he can graduate on time, and all that or whatever. And he ended up graduating, getting a high school diploma, not a certificate. He ended up getting a welding degree, welding certification, and he ended up getting another certification from their technology center or whatever. So hey, man, with that, hey, homie, and
let's throw
it
these
wasn't really
accolades
us.
in
Hey,
there.
it was God, man. God pushing us to
And
do
was the middle
what we
school
need to
baseball
do. Yeah,
coach this year.
exactly. Yeah,
And so it's just a prime example of if you get involved,
Yeah,
early
you got to.
intervention, get the resources, and it may be a little difficult to climb over the hurdles in front of you, but it can be done.
Oh, yeah.
Because anybody know Big Daddy Juicy, he'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
And
anything
like
about
Mr.
baseball,
DeVonda said,
softball,
hey,
that's her
pretty
baby.
much.
Hey,
Yeah, she always call him
right.
her baby or
That's my
whatever.
baby.
You know, the person
like
come
she
to my
said
house
though,
and
you
tell
got
me, hey, don't worry about what me and your wife got going on.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
that's my. Hey, no, you can't.
Yeah,
But anyway,
exactly.
shout out to
Yeah.
DJ, man.
Yeah, but she like she said though, the parents they gotta, pretty much swallow your pride and be like, hey, okay, man, this my baby. And this what I want him to do, not what you want him to do, but hey, this what I want him to do. This what I want him to be, or whatever. Because like you say, and I say, not all the time, but sometimes, hey man, every sickness it ain't death,
Nah.
and autism
That's
is not
right.
death. Hey man,
Right.
you can be very positive, with
And
having
demand the
autism.
resources that
Yeah,
are out
exactly.
there. You have to ask. Like we ask for. Like it was fascinating to me sometimes is as not as a community, just as people, as a culture. Sometimes as a human being, an adult, we ask for things that we don't need.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
We
we're
always
fond of
doing
it.
that.
Remember back in the days, we could go to people's house and borrow sugar. You can wait till tomorrow. No, Granddaddy want that Kool-Aid made tonight.
Going to get some
But
sugar
we
next
won't
door.
ask
Yeah.
for the resources for our children that we need, whether
Yeah.
it be tutoring, whether it be special needs in the aspect of that what you work in, DeVonda, or just not knowing. We can't be afraid to ask the questions that we don't know.
Exactly.
Because that will leave us in denial. Whether you feel like you're in denial or not, that will leave us in denial. And here it is, you're down the road. And I don't want to ever say it's too late, but the individual, the child, is that further behind the Powerball because, like you say, there's some kids out here. As We See It is the name of the
Yes.
Yeah.
as the name of the show.
Please
and
go
if,
watch
if you
that show.
never watched that, please
Please.
watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's not on Netflix.
Yeah.
But As We See It, and the therapist that works with these individuals, like remember the kid, his dad was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And he went in there and talked to the doctors and was the doctor looking at him like, "Are you a doctor?"
Yeah,
But he
exactly.
was able to
Exactly.
tell
yeah.
them everything, and he was just reading this stuff and picking up on it. And back to, I'm amazed, and I'm not gonna say his name, but DeVonda's client, the first time I met him, like he was just like, "DeVonda, are y'all reading dinosaur books when y'all in y'all session?" And DeVonda was like, "Nah, we kind of do what we have to do, whatever he wants to do." But like he just sits there and he's reading these level of books that are well surpass his reading level. And so DeVonda is saw him here recently, and she was just like, "Oh, he was so glad to see me," and he's just a phenomenal kid, man, phenomenal. Just
Yeah, but we gotta get them. We gotta also be able to get them answers that we don't want.
yeah,
Because
Yes.
you don't want to hear.
you don't want to hear the
Hey,
diagnosis,
exactly. You don't want to hear the
right.
but
diagnosis.
not hearing it,
Yeah, it's
isn't
even
gonna
worse.
help you either.
It's
Yeah.
even
That's
worse.
right.
It's even worse because that was the thing with us and DJ or whatever. Because me, I was like, man, ain't nothing wrong with DJ, man. He bad or whatever. But they just hearing them say pretty much wait, he's hearing impaired. What you mean?
Yeah.
Hey, he and then he was so smart to where he would just look at you and read your lips.
started reading
So
lips.
he knew. I was like, hey, so how y'all saying he hearing impaired? So they had to pretty much tell us, hey, we'll turn away from him and see what he say then or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I do that and he looking like, hey, you say something?
Yeah.
Whatever. And the same thing with autistic kids or whatever. Hey, we just gotta be willing and acceptable to, hearing the fact that, okay, well, hey,
This
my
is what
son,
it
my
is.
daughter, is autistic. And then you gotta like the famous, the worldwide famous saying right now. You gotta be ready to put your boots on the ground and go to
Yeah.
work, man.
Put them boots on the ground.
On the ground,
okay?
yeah.
And the thing that I want you guys to know, coming from, my Hands of Hope, I want everybody to know that you're not alone. Like, I am willing to walk this journey with you. And sometimes the conversations could be hard and they could be like, oh my God. I see, like Kania say, I think some of my gifts on the low, I'm like, man, that baby got autism. But how do I tell this parent?
Yeah.
Or how do I tell my sister or my brother or, my niece, my nephew? How do I let them know that I need you to get the baby help?
Yeah.
What you're doing is babying him and it's not going to help.
Yeah.
You trying to spank him, you can't spank it away.
Yeah.
You can't pray it away. Or, we can do some prayer now. I get down, we going to pray this thing through.
The good book say faith without
We
works
gonna
is
pray
dead.
it.
And
But
so,
the thing is, like, let's get them help. And like you mentioned earlier about like their interest, their uniqueness.
Yeah.
One of my clients, he was telling me about Bugattis and hell and all of these things. I had to come home and ask. I said, CJ, what is that? Mom, you don't know what a Bugatti is? No, tell me. So he was interested in all of these fancy cars and talked about the butterfly doors. And he taught me. So allow children that's have a neurodevelopment disability or let them teach you things. But we have to be patient. We have to, again, and it's going to take sacrifices because you're going to have to take them to appointments. Right now, I do have on the low, I'm working on my clinic here because my goal is to open up a clinic because I do want to provide services that give parents a break, but it's safe. That they can come and they can bring their child instead of, because everybody don't want you in their home. And me personally, I don't really want to be in your home. Okay,
For sure.
But and I don't want you in my home either. But we got to have a place that our babies can come and they can feel safe and they can feel included
and they can be themselves.
and they can be
exactly.
themselves.
Exactly.
Some of the autistic children or children with disabilities, they have a gift, just like we have a gift. I feel like your gift is talking or
that's his.
definitely writing
that's
paper.
what the Lord gave him.
That's what he got.
That's what the Lord gave him.
I ain't too skilled in that. I'm trying to tell you,
Me
don't
neither,
come for my English right now because it's gonna be all the way wrong.
Exactly.
But my gift is working with children and just seeing them for who they are and seeing the potential of what they can be in the future. This having a diagnosis, like you said, Greg, it does not hinder them. But what does hinder them is you as a parent not getting them the services that they need.
Resources.
I
That's out there
work
for
with
them.
one of the ladies that I work with. She's older, and her son is 22 years old with autism. And he struggles with being told no. When he get upset, he busts his holes in the wall, tear down doors. And so now she's like, DeVonda, I'm really concerned because me and his dad now are older and he can beat us up. So when he get upset, we don't know how to control him. But if he was got those services and he's
Yeah.
nonverbal, so now he has an AAC device, and now he's able to kind of communicate his wants and needs, but like now he can beat them up. So now she's looking for, where do my child go? Because me and my husband is 60 something years old and we on our way out.
Yeah.
And who's gonna take care of them?
Exactly.
And there's resources, as we keep saying the key word in this particular situation, that there are resources. And as you if you go look at that series as we see it, there are in-home resources, therapy centers, or therapy homes where a therapist will come in and work with these individuals. And I'm pretty sure we talked about the different levels of 1, 2, 3. There are different level homes. Would you think from a professional perspective they would put someone that's a level 1 and with a level 3? I think that they would try to balance that out because there are some different levels of therapy. But in a sense,
It is,
it
but
could.
it is such a need, and it's not enough homes. It's not enough home. It's not enough facilities. Like I said, even now, right now, I don't have a wait list, but I got 4 clients that's on the wait list, and I ain't even open yet. I'm ready to rock and roll come May, though.
We ready to rock and roll.
But at the same time, it's like it's not even enough there. You know, it's not even enough therapy. It's not enough homes. Like Badcott, I know here in Batesburg, they have some children or adults in there. It's a lot of group homes that servicing them, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. It is a shortage. Just like we need RBTs, y'all.
Yes.
We need behavior technicians. And if you want to do it for the money, I'll speak up on that just a little bit, because I feel like some people come to the wrong professions for the wrong reasons. If you coming for the money, I'm going to ask you to go somewhere else, because don't come working with my babies if you don't got... Money it rules the world in a sense, but money is not everything. That child's life and their and you know where they're going is more valuable to me than any money. So it's something. It's like, okay, what's your passion? What can I do? Working with kids, working with children with special needs, but working with autistic children especially. I can do that for no money. Right now.
And like you just said, it's got to be a gift, man, that you have inside of you to want to help people and see people be better, see people do better. And especially, you've been saying it, didn't keep account, but you probably had about 1.2 million times done said my babies or whatever.
They are.
And the thing is, when you saying that right there, my babies, my babies, my babies, my babies, that right there just shows that the passion that you have for that or whatever. And me personally, I've always like worked with kids, whatever, coaching football, baseball, basketball, or whatever. And then I got 2 grandsons now, whatever, and they pretty much my world or whatever. And pretty much I just love being with them and letting them a lot of times do whatever they want to do and then send them back to their mama and daddy or whatever. But a lot of times I done got to the point now where I have to discipline them some or whatever and tell them, no, you can't do this or you can't do that or whatever. But I really, really, truly enjoy just being with them and helping them just do stuff and, navigate through problems and stuff or whatever. And I can hear it in you with my babies. You really enjoy just helping these kids, and you are passionate about getting the kids the help that they need, man. Because they all need help or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Of course, they moms and dads or, their parents are right there for them or whatever. But when you got somebody that's willing to go over and beyond their mom and dad, parents or whatever, man, you got to tap in and use this thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
You got to.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And so, it's...
He lost for words. I can't believe that.
Because I'm trying to sit
going
here.
on,
And I'm trying to formulate my thoughts the correct way. Because this is April. We ended the month of April at the end, and we were able to highlight and capture that April was a month of autism awareness. But I'm trying to just get everyone to realize awareness, be aware of it, but do some research. Do a little bit of research, educate yourself, because the world, and correct me, DeVonda, we're having more and more kids with this condition. The rate in which people were born with it, maybe when we were born, is significantly higher now. And although we said that we can't really pinpoint a cause, it's just more common. And so the world, as we once knew it and considered it to be the norm, there's a new norm. So our norm isn't their norm, and their norm isn't our norm. But it's together collectively, we're going to have to find ways to cohabitate and get through life together. And I just am thankful that you have this passion, because there are kids out there who don't have that passionate parent that you are. They don't have that advocate that you are aiming to be and that you are for the kids and the parents that you work for. And so you've kind of molded me into being this passionate person, because like you said, I see it at the barbershop. I have individuals that come in, and she bought me some tools to use. And a lot of the kids, I have to talk to the parents when they're walking out the door, like, I know that's cool, but I'm going to need that back, because I'm going to have another kid or someone that comes in and that may need it. But yeah, and so we might have to have you back on and come back and do a part two, because
So you ready?
No, I'm not ready for that.
you have a lot of information.
Oh yeah.
And
we've been throwing like a lot of stuff out there,
lot of
but
stuff out there.
all this information is you can look at it and tell by how she's acting today that she's willing
She's
to
in her comfort zone.
give this because normally when we first started this a year or two, she wasn't saying that they want to be on, but she actually, and I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. She actually done forced Cornelius to do this right here, man.
They didn't jump on me.
Yeah, pretty
Listen.
much.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll do it myself.
Listen.
I'm like, hey, we was on a hiatus.
She should have just
We was on
called
a
me,
break.
man. Hey, I just did. Man, come on, let's set this up, man. But nah, man. So you got anything else you want to say or whatever? Because we probably can not necessarily talk about this all night, but talking about helping people, man. We probably can go on for hours and hours and hours and hours, because we want Vonda's babies to get this help that they need, man. Because we got to get it out there, man.
The last thing that I have to say is, if you are interested, or if your child is diagnosed, or if you're looking to get diagnosed, you don't have to come out the pocket. As long as your child has some type of insurance. If you need help getting them insurance, hit my link. I will help you.
And we're gonna put it in the bottom, right
Yes.
here, and probably early in the show, if you were watching it this far, we're gonna put the link to the website. Well, not the link, but the website. Some contact information and things of that nature, because those who know my wife, if she says she's willing to help, she's not just saying that.
Yeah.
If that means I got to get involved, she's going to get it done, and she's going to find a way. And so, the information.
So ABA therapy is provided through insurance. Now, some people do private pay, and like I said, my one of the ladies that I was working with, that her son is 22, she pays $250 per hour. So I'm not trying to put that on anybody. But if you have insurance, then we will bill through your insurance. That's how the therapists get paid, just like a speech therapist, a physical therapy, occupational therapy. If you don't have insurance, please let me help you to get what you need. And we'll have to start from scratch. And everybody's journey is differently. And the last thing I want to say about autism is, autism doesn't have a look. Just like somebody with blood pressure, somebody with cancer, somebody with sickle cell, or anemia, or I'm overweight, so it don't really have a look. So when we're talking about our children, they're not different. They're just the same as everybody else.
They have
and
their
let's
own
treat
uniqueness.
them like that.
They have their own. Everybody, no one has the same DNA or fingerprint, and it's the same thing with autism. No one individual is going to be the same, whether they have autism or not. And so we have to stop expecting, and like I say, we can't throw this term of normal around like it's just cookie cutter. No, everybody has their own uniqueness. And it's just that those individuals with autism, their uniqueness may be harder to find because it's crowded by some neurological things, But at the end of the day, we just have to dig deep and find it and pull it out of them. And the way we do that is by sharing love, but more importantly, giving them hands of hope.
Yeah.
So
There we go.
Exactly.
Hope starts here. So y'all go check out my website.
Oh, yeah.
And any way that I can help, I'm willing
For sure.
to help. And I do have a little small office here. Hopefully, I'm looking to expand. But that is something that I've been keeping under wraps for a couple of months.
And you could always hit the podcast up, man, or whatever.
Yes.
Or hit our number.
hit our
up,
link
man.
up when we post this.
We can get in
Send
contact
us a
with them or
messenger.
whatever.
We'll get you in contact
Exactly.
with her.
Exactly.
And
But I'm gonna
Yeah.
be working right there beside us, so hey, man, we good. So hey, this might be my last episode. We never know.
hey,
You know,
listen,
we never
Snake.
know
You
whatever.
see, I hope you didn't hire him. I hope
yeah.
you didn't hire him, Snake.
Yeah.
But no, DeVonda, I want to thank you for. You didn't. Greg probably got me in trouble. It wasn't a twisting of the arm. It was just I had to get back on the. We had to get back on the horse. We had took a knee, and leading into that,
She had his arm all the way behind his back.
Man,
Hey, whatever.
But
Hey,
we
I was
had
telling,
them-
hey, tap out, man. Hey, she gonna break your arm, Kanisha. Yeah.
But no, leading into next month, and we're going to go ahead and put this out there. We have Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And that's something that Greg and I have been talked about as far as each month. We want to make sure we begin to capture some of the things that's going on in that
exactly.
month. And we have a whole story in the episode we could do about that. And so while she twisted my arm, maybe I can twist her arm. That at the end of the month of May,
Nah,
we
she
might-
ready.
We might come
She
back
ready
on
right
and do
now.
like a little thing
right
and,
now.
and discuss
I
that.
don't know if they're ready for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
If they ain't ready, they need to get ready.
Oh, okay.
so I can tell some stories.
Impeachment.
But no, so I just want to thank you
Stay
for coming
tuned.
on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
making. I want to thank you for making sure that we capture this because I do believe.
Yeah.
It's Awareness Month, but we have to take this thing. They say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so this is a start to begin the education piece out there. And I'm going to throw her under the bus because she didn't give me permission to say this, but look for a podcast of her own, Hands of Hope Behavioral Consulting Podcast,
Oh, my
she'll be
business out.
she'll be
Yeah.
doing a
Right.
Talk It Through Tuesday. So I think she's going to
Yes.
try to do it, maybe a live version of it on YouTube or something. But where she's going to come on Tuesday nights and just be able to talk with the individuals and share information about new leads in autism and ways to cope and handle things. And hey, she pushed me. She twisted my arm. I got out of that chokehold. Now it's back on her. But without further ado, Greg, you want to take us home, man?
So with that being said, man, anything else you want to get like your socials or not socials, but social media or
So I am on Facebook, handsofhopebehavioral.com. And then I'm on Instagram and I got TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So my son, he's helping me with that because I ain't really suave without that.
Okay. So do you have like a Hands of Hope
I have
pages?
a website. Yeah, I have.
Well, no, like Facebook page,
Yes,
TikTok page.
yes.
We'll
I
put
have
all
a
those-
Facebook page,
Put all those on
TikTok
there.
page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right, so
put
that's
all
cool.
those
So
on
hey, you can easily be contacted, whatever. And hey, we gonna link up. So are we friends with Hands of Hope?
Well,
Just
she
yet?
hadn't really, because she's real private. She ain't gonna release it until it's exactly the way she
Okay,
wants.
well that's cool.
So,
That's cool. That's
you
cool.
know,
That's what we need because hey, we don't want to release it and then people start reaching out and then we like, hey, well,
it's gonna take me a
we
couple
ain't
days
just
to edit
ready,
this,
you
so
know,
she
to
better
do
have
this,
it
do
Oh,
that,
it's gonna
do
be
that.
ready.
Okay,
Whatever.
it'll be
So
ready.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
we
hey,
gonna be
but we
tight and right over
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. But with that being said, man, I thought about today actually, because we was pretty much boots on the ground yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought about
Yes.
today about a new slogan, but I came up with the fact of the matter today. Hey, the old slogan been working for us, man. Hey, the old slogan been great for us, man. So hey, we just gonna stick with the old slogan, man. Well, we might throw some new stuff in there every now and again or whatever, but hey, as far as that goes, man, hey, DeVonda Summers, what are you, RBT,
RBT.
soon to be
behavior
soon to be
technician.
ABA.
yeah, soon to be ABA,
BCBA.
Trying to get these letters.
BCBA, or whatever. Yeah, for sure, whatever. Hey, we appreciate you coming on, giving us a little bit of your time. Appreciate you being willing to help, any and everybody that has anything, any questions. Hey, they need any answers about autism. Hey, this is the place you want to be at right here, man. Hey, and hey, we just glad they're doing it with purpose. Could they bring this out and get us to y'all or whatever? And with that being said, excuse me. hey, doing it with purpose. Hey, if you're not doing it with purpose, and we see, hey, DeVonda Summers is doing it with purpose, hey, with his autism thing, hey, you're not doing it at all. God bless.
Thank y'all for coming out. Really good night.
Yeah, God bless. Good night.
Peace.
Peace.